Hello, Early Music Shop. Thanks for featuring the album Bach To Folk as Album of the Month. This album is by my trio, Lodestar Trio, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It's basically a fiddle band. It's made up of hardanger fiddle, the traditional Norwegian fiddle, which if you haven't seen it, is an amazing creature, very ornate, beautiful mother of pearl and inlay. But it also differs in a couple of other respects from a regular fiddle. It has a flatter bridge, so playing chords is easier. And the main difference, I think, is that it has sympathetic strings which lie under the bridge, and those give it a sort of natural bloom to the sound. That's played by Olaf Mjelva from Norway. And then we have the nickel harper from Sweden, a traditional Swedish folk instrument played by Erik Rudvall. And this thing is a quite spectacular thing with many, many keys. It looks a little bit like the hurdy-gurdy, but it's chromatic all the way up, covering more or less the same range as the violin. And it also has sympathetic strings. And then I play the regular old fiddle and occasionally viola on a couple of tunes. So that's Lodestar Trio, and we play baroque music. The main thing, I think, is that I think of baroque music as groove-based music, and I think a lot of folk music is like that too. So that's the kind of spirit of rhythm that we try and bring into the music that we play, which includes lots of music written originally for solo cello or solo violin by Bach, from the suites, partitas and sonatas, but also other music, Couperin, Lully. We play a chaconne by Tarquinio Marullo, the baroque Italian composer, which is basically a bit of Italian pop music from the 17th century. That's a lot of fun. Do I change anything about my playing style playing with these instruments? Well, I think I do. I think adopting the sort of folk bow technique is probably the main thing. Very clean, concise bowing style, and we've actually just been working on that here. You can see I'm in beautiful Welsh countryside in a place called Greganog. I'm working with a string ensemble called Sinfonia Cymru, and we've got a classical program that is all inspired by folk music. So we've been thinking a lot about bowing. I think that's the main thing. There's the idea of the natural resonance of the instruments, which of course the hardanger and the nickel harper have because of the sympathetic strings. And I think a lot of baroque music was written with the idea of the natural reverb of a space in mind, to create a sense of polyphony, even with one instrument. You might play a bass note and move up to an upper register of the instrument, and that bass note can ring on. So you have the impression of these different lines being played simultaneously. And I really think that so much baroque music, and especially those works for solo, cello and violin, were written with this in mind, because it is essentially polyphonic music. Yes, well, we are expanding our repertoire. At the moment, we're playing more folk influenced and Eastern European music. So we've done some Grieg, some Bartok, and some Dvorak. And it looks like we'll be playing in Budapest next year, so that'll be really exciting to take some Bartok over there and other Eastern European folk music. But we're definitely going to carry on playing lots of baroque music and exploring that repertoire, so stay tuned for that. What's next for Lodestar Trio? Well, we're playing later this year. We have a tour planned in the UK, different parts of the UK, and we're playing Germany in November and Linz in Austria in December, and then a German tour in March next year, and a few other things in the pipeline. So yeah, keep them busy. Oh yeah, we play in Ghent as well in September. So it's really nice to be meeting regularly and touring the repertoire that we put on the album. Yeah, so that's what's in store really. And if you haven't listened to the album already, you can pick it up on through the early music shop. And really hope you enjoy it. Get in touch, let us know what you think. Yeah, thanks again. All the best.